Welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Cartridge Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we celebrate the end of the year with another Animal Crossing Bedtime Story focusing on New Year's Eve. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this video game story as you fall into a deep sleep. Enjoy. It was that time again, as the year was coming to a close. It had been a long year for the island residents, as they had several fun times together. Through normal days to holidays, the villagers had so much fun with one another, and many memories were made. But 2021 was ending. The island residents prepared for another fun night together as they reined in the new year. The day was like any other, as the villagers went about their normal lives. The villager had done the same, tending to their crops, digging up fossils, and giving their island friends surprise gifts. It was another great day, as the sun set and the moon floated overhead. Everyone gathered at Town Hall, wearing their party hats and holding their glow sticks and sparklers. Tom Nook and Isabel, dressed nicely outside of Town Hall, were in their black suits as they stood by the timer, counting down the year's end. The villager thought about the past year and how so many things had happened. It had been 2 years since they moved to the island. 2 full years since the villager and Tom Nook worked together to attract more residents who set root on the island. It was weird to think about how bare and empty the island was back then. 2 years ago, the island was just that, an island. Town Hall was the only thing there, and that was just a tent at the time. Then, one by one, new villagers started to settle down on the island. First was Boone, Anka, and Zucker. 3 totally different people who somehow found happiness on the island and decided to stay. The villager noticed Boone standing and talking to Anka as they walked over to talk to them as well. The villager could tell that both Boone and Anka were having fun talking to each other. They were chatting about their favorite moments from the year. Anka knew that Toy Day was without a doubt her most favorite moment this year, as Freckles jumped in from behind in agreement. The many presents she had received made her incredibly happy. Boone agreed with Anka, but felt that Halloween had been his favorite because he dressed as Frankenstein and looked so buff in his costume. Phil, overhearing the conversation, couldn't help but join in, as he stated that Thanksgiving had been his favorite, as the food was exquisite. Dobby slowly walked over and agreed with Boone that Halloween had been the best part of the year, since he was able to dress up as a vampire, which he had always wanted to do. A ways away, Zucker and Stitches yelled out, with a mouthful of carrot cake, that they too had loved Thanksgiving the most this year, because of the delicious food. Genji quickly jumped in and proclaimed that all of summer had been the best, as he had his best workouts then. Raymond couldn't help but overhear Genji and disagreed, as the fall had been the best due to his fashionable fall clothing, which had been flawless. Coco appeared from behind Boone and softly stated that Easter had been her favorite part of the year, which strangely made sense. The thought of Zipper T. Bunny hopping his way back to the island sent a shiver down everyone's back. As 2 minutes came across the New Year's timer, everyone got more excited and antsy. Timmy and Tommy came walking up and said hello to everyone as they stood by Tom Nook. The Able sisters came next, followed by Captain, who yelled out a hearty hello. Brewster and Blathers, both holding their own coffees, were the last to join the festivities. 2022 was just around the corner, as all the villagers stood together and waved their glow sticks in the air. Stitches looked at Boone and asked him what his New Year's resolution was. Boone proclaimed that he wanted to be able to run 3 whole miles while curling weights the entire time. Genji heard and was stunned by Boone's response, as he stated that he wanted to run 4 miles while curling weights. Boone and Genji locked eyes, ready to face off against one another in a weightlifting competition, as Anka pushed through them. Her New Year's resolution was to sit on the beach more often in the summer. Freckles put her glow stick to her mouth like a microphone and said her resolution was to practice her pop star dance moves to make them more perfect for when she becomes famous. Everyone told each other their resolutions and cheered each other on with their future goals. The villagers smiled, a big smile, as they enjoyed listening to their friends' New Year's goals, as Tom Nook walked up. Tom waved and asked the villager if he could share his resolution with them. The villager happily listened, as Mr. Nook said his New Year's resolution was to continue to make the island an even better place to live. He looked at the villager and smiled as he thanked them for everything they had done. Helping the island villagers, helping to build important places on the island, and even making the island a beautiful place to live. It was all possible, thanks to the villagers' help. Tom thanked the villager for everything that they had done, and asked them what their resolution was. The villager looked at Tom Nook, then all the other villagers, and then around to all the visible parts of the island. They looked back to Tom and said that their resolution was to continue to be happy and helpful to other people. 10 seconds came across the New Year's countdown timer. All the villagers counted down together as 5 seconds were left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fireworks flew up in the air and burst as far as the eye could see. The sky lit up with beautiful lights and colors, dazzling all the villagers. It was a beautiful sight to behold as the villager looked forward to another great year. The end. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Bedtime Stories. Please let us know what you think of our bedtime stories on our social media or by emailing us at talesfromthecartridge@gmail.com. All of the E's are threes. We'd love to know what you like, don't like, and the stories you'd like us to cover next. For everyone who's listening, we really hope you have a great New Year's Eve and a great New Year's. Please take care of yourselves. We really hope to enjoy the story. But for now, we hope that you're sleeping well, and we will see you in the new year. Good night.